Yeah, actually, that'd be perfectly fine. Alright, so go for it. It already started.
Okay, sweet. So my leader is Yamato, aka Kazuki Odin. So the ability for this leader is double attack, and once they're at 3 life or less, then you can attach 2 Rested Dawn to your characters, which, as you can tell off of that ability, you know, the whole point of the deck is to try and apply as much pressure as you can and try and close out the game, you know, off of having your opponent at lower life. So usually the first few turns you're kind of setting up, you're either, you know, just attacking with attached on Yamato, or you're you know, dropping your own army to try and banish stuff. If not, you know, you end up just kind of muddling around the first few turns. I do have the Kazuki Momonosuke baby version, the little search engine here, just to kind of take advantage of the fact that a lot of these cards are Land of Wano, like Kikumojo's Land of Wano, Big Momonosuke's Land of Wano, Uzo, not Onami, funnily enough, Kazuki Hiyori's Land of Wano, obviously Yamato's Land of Wano. So it kind of allows you to have a little bit of search involved in the deck. Obviously you have, you know, I believe it's 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. You have 14 2Ks, which tend to help out. You're also using You're the One Who Should Disappear, which helps out with you know, keeping yourself afloat, keeping your life there. Honestly, the trigger for You're the One Who Should Disappear doesn't really come into play too often, but when it does, it helps out a lot. Out of all these cards, I'd say the 2 triggers that are really the MVP when they're in your life is Bunnynahm and Onami. Onami's an amazing card. Sometimes if you have it in your opening hand, I like to go Hiyori into putting an Onami on top, just because that kind of clears the board. You can stage really good attacks. I kind of have Captain Kaden as a little bit of nod to the Fortress build, just to kind of keep that late game afloat, so you can take advantage of your Dawn being able to attach Rested Dawn to him, which is really cool. Hody Jones is usually the finisher in this deck. Hody, when he comes down, you're usually trying to close the game out, and I found that he's just a really efficient closer, especially if you curve it out into Hody Jones on your 7 Dawn turn. He's really efficient, especially when you can take advantage of this ability and you know, spend all your Dawn to play Hody and then attach 2 Rested to him, so he becomes 10k, which is very hard to deal with for a lot of decks, especially if they're trying to just counter out of it. You end up taking, you know, sometimes 3-4 cards out of an opponent's hand, which really helps close out the game. But yeah, overall the deck's just kind of taking advantage of tempo early game and then having a few things late game to kind of close the game out once you have your opponent down to low life. So overall, I feel like it's a pretty balanced deck. I enjoy playing it, and overall, it's just a fun deck to play. 200 million volt Tamaru also really helps for the early game, and once you're down to low life in the late game, it really helps out too. Especially because you can just kind of tap blockers or try and power over stuff. Overall, I would say it's a pretty solid deck, and I just really enjoy playing it. Other than that, I mean, it's kind of, it uses a lot of the same yellow core that any yellow deck uses. Like, Hiyori's going to be in like every yellow deck. Satori's going to be in pretty much every yellow deck. But, especially Blocker Sanchis. Sanji can really help out, especially off the trigger. And not only that, especially if he triggers early game, then you can take advantage and, you do want to use him as a blocker, you can definitely attach a couple of the Dawn and all of a sudden you have 7k body. That, I would say the deck's pretty straightforward. It just tries to use tempo to get there.
I guess I'm watching. Sorry, deck profile from Hard Mode.